Hello everybody, I'm NerdyGuy, and today we're going to talk about Leviticus. Now, this will be my first video about religion, kind of. My video, Christmas Rambling, was kind of about religion, but that thing focused more on Christmas than it did religion, and I was just talking about, like, well, I defended my right to celebrate Christmas as an atheist from the Christians who say that I can't because I'm not Christian. But this will be my more in-depth about religion. But here's a disclaimer. Like, here's before I start, I have to say, if you're a Christian, just because you're a Christian, I don't have anything against you. I mean, you can be Christian all you want. You can be religious, you can be Jew, you can be Muslim, you can be whatever you want. Believe whatever you want. I have no problem with you. I only have a problem with those who try to impose their religion on everybody else. Because you're free to believe whatever you want. You're free to believe that it's wrong to be homosexual. However, you can't just go around and tell every homosexual person you see that what they're doing is wrong and that they're assholes for doing it or whatever, like, that they're sinners and threaten them with hell. You can't even threaten them with hell to begin with. I mean, I often get threatened with hell as an atheist, and it's a pointless threat because I don't believe in hell. I don't think it exists. So threatening me with hell is like going up to somebody and say, "Oh, don't do that, you might get stampeded by unicorns." Like, oh no, I should not do that. I don't think hell exists, so you can't threaten me with hell, because it won't work. But back to, like I said, the topic of this video, Leviticus. The book Leviticus in the Bible. A lot of Christians go to that when they want to point out that it's bad to be... why it's wrong to be homosexual, and they say, "Oh, the Bible says so." But let's see if I can find, because in the Bible, there we go. 18:22, having sex with a man as one does with a woman, it forbids it. It says that if you do it, you should be stoned to death. It doesn't say anything about lesbians. But it says that if a man has sex with another man, both men should be stoned to death. However, if you're going to follow one of the laws from Leviticus, you kind of have to follow all of them. Because you can't just sit and pick and choose. You can't say, like, well, this law is important, not this law. Not this law, no. No, you have to think about when you wrote that, you have to think about the cultural context it was written in. But not this one. No, this one is still okay, but not that one. This is really common. So, if you're going to say that you have to follow Leviticus 18:22, then you have to follow a lot of other things. So I comprised a list of 16 things that Leviticus forbids. And it's kind of 18 or like 19 or something, because I smashed them together because they were similar. But this is the top 16. I mean, the first plan was to do a top 5 list, but I found so many that I liked that I ended up with a top 10, and then a top 15, and then a top 16. And it would be more, like I said, I didn't mash some of them together. I took these from a list called 76 Things Banned in Leviticus, which I'll be linking to below. And, unless I forget it, then tell me in the comments, because I always forget these things. But, well, here we go. The first thing, failing to include salt in an offering to God. Leviticus 2:13. Do people even offer to God anymore? Because I don't think you do. So, if you don't offer to God, then you're screwed. And if you forget to include salt in the offering to God, then you're even more screwed. Then you're double screwed. Then second, carelessly making an oath. Yes. So, if you promise something that you can't keep, even if you know you can't keep it or not, then you're breaking Leviticus. Also, this is Leviticus 5:4. I forgot to mention that. That's forbidden. And then third one, this is like the most overreacting thing I've ever seen in the Bible. Leviticus 10:6 says that if you let your hair become unkempt, or if you tear your clothes, then you will die, and God will be angry at everyone. What? I mean, I know God had like OCD or something, but this is pretty extreme. You let your hair become unkempt and you tear your clothes, then you will die. And God will be angry at everyone. Holy shit. And next up, drinking alcohol in holy places. And the punishment for this is you will die. This is Leviticus 10:9. Why is this funny? Well, every Catholic in the world is kinda screwed, because you're not allowed to drink alcohol in church. Whoops. I guess that communion goes to hell. My bad. And then 5, Leviticus 11 and 4 to 7. 7-Eleven. Eating an animal which doesn't both chew cud and has the divided hoof. For example, camel, pig, and rabbit. In other words, if you ever eaten bacon, kinda screwed. You're not allowed to eat bacon. And I ate bacon all day, so I'm very screwed. And number 6, I think this is my favorite one. This is a mashed up one. This is from 2 different. Going to church. Let's see. This is from Leviticus 12:4. Going to church within 33 days after giving birth to a boy. And Leviticus 12:5. Going to church within 66 days after giving birth to a girl. Does anybody follow that? Have you ever been to church within 33 days after giving birth to a boy, or 66 days after giving birth to a girl? If you've ever done one of the things, you've broken the laws in Leviticus. I'm sorry. And if you have no right to complain about homosexuals, because you're just as bad as them. But this one is that's probably my favorite, because it doesn't even make sense. Why is it double the amount of days after giving birth to a girl? It's like shameful to give birth to a girl? I mean, what the hell? That's just weird. And then 7. Reaping, Leviticus 19:9 and Leviticus 19:10. Reaping to the very edges of a field, and picking up grapes that have fallen in your vineyard. Because these are to be left for the poor. So, if you have like a big field where you sow wheat or something, you grow wheat, and if you want to reap it, then you're not allowed to reap the edges, because no, those are for the poor. You should leave those for the poor so the poor can take them. Now, it only mentions vineyard, or is it vineyard or vineyard? I have no idea. Well, vineyard, but I think they mean like fruit yards in general. Like, let's say you have an orchard with like apple trees, and apples fall to the ground. Then you're not allowed to pick those apples up, because those apples now belong to the poor who can't afford food, so they can have those for free. You're only allowed to pick the apples that are still on the tree. Do you follow that? Because I don't think most people do. And the next one, Leviticus 19:13. Holding back the wages of an employee overnight. So if you're an employer and you postpone giving your employee his wages, you're breaking Leviticus. Law from Leviticus. And 9, this is also hilariously funny. Seeking revenge or bearing a grudge, Leviticus 19:18. I know a lot of Christians who do that. You're not allowed to, I'm sorry. I can do it. I can seek revenge or bear a grudge all I want to. But you can't. And the 10th one, Leviticus 19:23, doesn't make sense at all. Eating fruit from a tree within 4 years of planting it. Why? This doesn't make sense either. I mean, the Bible doesn't make sense. That's what to do. And then 11, this is my second most favorite. Leviticus 19:27 forbids you of trimming your beard. You're not allowed to shave. So, if you're a Christian and you shave, then you've broken Leviticus law, and you have no right to complain about homosexuals being homosexual. I recently broke Leviticus law because I shaved away my beard. I know, I probably look ridiculous with that thing, but I liked having it. It kept my face warm, and it's cold as fuck outside right now, so it's kind of nice to have something to keep your face warm. But I don't have that anymore, because I had to shave it off for my sister's wedding. I miss my beard. But I broke Leviticus law, and every Christian man who has ever shaved this beard has broken Leviticus law. And then, the 12th one, Leviticus 19:28, getting tattoos. Have you ever seen a Christian person with like a tattoo of a crucified Jesus or something, or a tattoo of a cross? Yeah, they've broken the law of the Bible. Ironically. They're getting a tattoo to prove that they're Christian, and they're breaking Christian law while doing it. And 13, mistreating foreigners. And to quote, the foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. So you're not allowed to think any less of a person just because they're a foreigner. That's not something that not a lot of Christians do either. There's a lot of Christians in Sweden who don't follow that either. Then again, Sweden is not the most Christian country. Whatever. And 14, this is another hilarious one. Leviticus 12:11. Oh, right, sorry, I forgot to mention on the mistreating foreigners one. That's Leviticus 19 and 33 to 34. But the 14th one I found here, Leviticus 21:11, entering a place where there's a dead body as a priest. Do you realize this means that if a priest enters a place, if a priest is in a funeral, then he's breaking Leviticus law. A priest is not allowed to attend a funeral. Yet you have to have a priest attending the... This is a place where the Bible goes against itself. This video's getting long, fuck. Okay, Leviticus, the 15th one I found. Working on the Sabbath, Leviticus 23:3. So if you work on Sunday as a Christian, you're screwed. If you work on Saturday as a Jewish person, then you're screwed. Because you're not allowed to do any kind of work on the Sabbath, so whoops, CD. And 16, this doesn't make any sense at all. Leviticus 25:23, selling land permanently. What? I don't even know. And then, as an added little bonus here, this is really good. This is something that a lot of Christians probably don't follow either. Leviticus 35:37. If any of your fellow Israelites become poor, Israelites or whatever, become poor and are unable to support themselves among you, help them as you would a foreigner and a stranger, so they can continue to live amongst you. Do not take interest or any profit from them, but fear your God, so that they may continue living among you. You must not lend them money at interest or sell them food at a profit. So if there's a poor person in your country, you're not allowed to make any kind of money off them. You should lend them money, you should help them and help them get back on their feet. If you're a Christian, have you ever done that? Have you ever helped poor people get back on their feet without expecting something back? If no, then you're a hypocrite. Don't say it's wrong to be homosexual because of Leviticus if you don't want to follow the laws of Leviticus yourself, because you can't just sit and pick and choose whichever laws to follow. Either follow one law, you can follow all of them or none of them. So, rate this video. Thumb up or thumb down, leave a comment, tell me what you think. What do you think about Leviticus? And go to this list and tell me what are your favorite parts of Leviticus that this thing forbids. And don't forget to look me up on Tumblr. It's NerdyGuyRanting at tumblr.com. And, well, I'm the Nerdy Guy, and you just watch Nerdy Guy Rant. Bye! Also, don't forget to subscribe.